Welcome in. It's a Sunday morning, day after live stream. John Hayes, Danny Brams right here on Soccer City. Excited to be hanging out live on this Sunday morning. It's a big day of soccer. It's a big weekend of soccer, Danny. I'm kicking back. I've got Premier League mornings on here in the office to start the day. I'm excited to talk about the footy with you as well, and excited to investigate another Soccer City investigation. Where is Leo Messi?
Where's Messi? Where is he? We want to know. The inquiring minds want to know for sure. Johnny, thank you so much for a great welcome into Soccer City. Always a beautiful morning on Soccer City when you got a point out of the situation. We're going to say the three words that have become the mantra here in Soccer City in 2026. Embrace the draw. Miami trotted out a B team, and some people are going to be really disappointed by the fact that Charlotte FC couldn't get 3 points. That was pretty much the main talking point as we get into some sound bites later on in the show, Johnny. Everybody talking about, was it points dropped? Was it points dropped? I don't think it was. Inter Miami is a team that won MLS Cup last year. They're full of quality. The big complaint about Inter Miami is that they've been able to sort of skirt the rules in order to build a squad of extreme depth. So when a team of extreme depth comes out and rotates their side against you, you still have to deliver a result. And so I'm glad that we got out of there with a point. And I'm embracing the draw, Johnny. I'm embracing the damn draw.
Yeah, and you're emptying the bag early as well. You've really just unloaded the clip to start the show. I'm easing into it. And I'm going to be hanging out here for the next maybe 40 minutes or so, and I'll ease into a lot of these takes. But Danny just let you know how he felt very quickly this morning, and I like how you've, for what it's worth, my phrase for this season was learn to love the draw, not embrace the draw.
That's true. That is true.
Which is fine.
Right.
I'm glad that you've taken, my season of learning and turned it into what is now the theme for today's show, because I am learning to love the draw. And
you might be teaching people to love the draw at this point, Johnny. You've learned.
You can always learn through somebody else's learning journey as well, right? Doesn't always have to be individualistic. And for me, I'm learning to love the draw, and the reason why is because this team could not draw in the past, and that's kind of my stat of the week, if you will. Let's start there. Charlotte FC, the Crown draws for the second time this season in the first 4 games of the year. The Crown went the entire season, the entirety of the 2025 season, and finished the season with only 2 draws. So we're really learning to embrace the draw. And I think Christian Kalina, something that he said post-match last night, Danny, was we take 1 point and we move on with our lives. And I think that's really ultimately what the Crown has done in this scenario. And the real losers last night are the fans, are the people that paid high ticket prices and ultimately saw what was a good match, but didn't see any goals.
The people who bought my tickets, for instance, Johnny. Yeah. God love them. God bless them.
Yeah, and the folks that bought mine as well. This was the perfect opportunity, I think, for season ticket holders, for people that have followed this club, to make some return on investment. Danny and I have been season ticket holders for the entirety of this project, now 5th year going as season ticket holders, and there's not a lot of resale value when it comes to Charlotte FC tickets. And Miami games with Messi on the pitch really are the only matches that you can get a little bit of resale value, and sometimes a good amount of resale value. So I don't blame any season ticket holder for putting the tickets up for sale for this match and seeing what happens, because ultimately you can get some cash for it, which I think is good. But
cash is good. Cash is king.
Cash spends. King. But seriously, Danny, I feel bad for the people that went to that match, saw a 0-0 game, paid a pretty penny to see Leo Messi, and he wasn't there. But I don't feel that bad for them, because what they did get to see, Danny, was a Sergio Reguilon debut for Inter Miami.
The regulator.
it's time. It's time for the regulator. Region makes his
Educate me
debut.
on Region a little bit. He's a former Tottenham man. Am I wrong?
Former, he's one of very few Spurs players who have played for both Tottenham and Manchester United. A short spell with Manchester United as well. So an accomplished Premier League player on the Spanish national team for a little while as well. Not a shoo-in starter there, but when you're thinking about, okay, fine, we could cry for the fans that didn't get to see Messi on Saturday night, but you did get to see like a pretty accomplished Premier League player, a Spanish player as well. You got to see Luis Suarez as well, who was playing the number 9 position for Miami, which I think ultimately shows that Inter Miami is not like this one-man show. They do have a very complete team, highlighted by the fact, I believe that, this is another stat of the morning for you, I think it was 16 of 23 matches that Inter Miami have won without Messi.
Correct. Yeah, they highlighted that early in the commentary. We had the A-team commentary. They even brought Taylor Twellman was in the booth for this one, hyping up Miami and slobbering all over them, and that stat was brought up early and often, I believe. You're exactly right, Johnny, with everything you say. And you know who agrees with you that who agrees with you and I both, actually, that this deep Miami team was no slouch and taking a point against this team, even at home, you should be pretty proud of. You know who agrees with you, Johnny? Who do you think agrees with you?
Dino.
Listen, they're still the MLS champions, cup champions. You know, got Regulon out there, they've got Ayala out there, they've got Suarez. I mean, it's some squad. I mean, you know, how they managed to keep that all together. You know, he's very good management, obviously. But no, it's not 2 points dropped. You know, we didn't play well enough to get the 3 points in the final third. We didn't show enough quality. If we had done, we could have got the 3 points. But for me, whether, you know, Messi's here, whether DePaul's here, it's, you know, doesn't do any difference for me.
2 points dropped, Johnny? 2 points dropped?
Dino's got a nice little 5 o'clock shadow coming in there. It's shaped up too.
He's growing the beard. He's officially growing a beard. He said the missus gave him the go ahead to go for the summer beard. So that's Carol Walton reporting that officially, and very happy to see it. Yeah,
not 2 points dropped at all. It's a 0-0 match. I think it's the last Charlotte FC match that ended 0-0 was in May 2024.
Correct.
So almost 2 years since this club has gone 0-0, and these come around every now and again. So ultimately, here's why you should be proud of a draw, or embrace the draw, or learn to love the draw. It's one simple thing, Danny. You didn't lose.
Correct.
And Inter Miami did not come into Bank of America Stadium and win.
Right.
They didn't. They went home without a win, and I think that's against the top side. A little bit of a rotation. I think the rotation specifically was highlighted in net. I think it was a debut or a player that. Well,
again, it speaks to Miami's depth though, because they play Rios Novo in goal instead of Drake Callender. So they bench Drake Callender, who I think is the reigning MLS goalkeeper of the year, and they bring in Rios Novo, who started an MLS Cup final. I mean, they just have an embarrassment of riches. It's not like they're bringing in It's not that they're bringing in Tony Kinski here to run the show. They're bringing in an accomplished goalkeeper. So even their subs are people that we have to watch out for.
I'm looking at the live chat, and then Football Edits coming in hot on a Sunday morning. He says, our players played dumb. Zaha got a yellow for yelling once again, and Westwood pushed a guy while the ball was already out of bounds. It's just unacceptable. I'm just sharing that. Everybody's allowed to have an opinion on Sunday morning, but that's not my vibe this morning. So appreciate you watching Football Edits, but I have no clue what you're talking about.
Well, I mean, I have some clue. I have some clue of what he's talking about.
Give me some context then.
The context is that Will Zaha is 4 for 4 in yellow cards in 2026 in MLS play, and the guy's going to get suspended on the next one. We can literally if past his prologue, he's literally on pace to get a yellow card in every single game this season, except for the ones that he ends up suspended for. So I kind of get that. It's something that Dean spoke about. But this is funny. And, John, I think once again, Johnny, you and Dino on very similar vibes. Listen to these comments about Wilf and the yellow cards.
Is there anything you can say about like how you can avoid that?
Not really, no. I'm probably the wrong person you should be asking about it, to be honest. The officials should maybe in front of you explaining why some of them are cautions, and then you see similar situations happen with other players and not similar results. So, listen, Wilf knows the league, he knows the officials. He's been here 14 months now, so he's understanding of that. Being emotional, yeah, we want to see emotion on the pitch, but we also want to see consistency from officials with how it's managed. You look back at his yellow cards. You can look back at them and then look back at some of the things, the fouls that have been given against him, and yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. But unfortunately, as I say, I'm not the one who should be answering these questions.
John, when he first said I'm not the one you should be asking, I was like, oh shit, he's about to throw Wilf. He's finally about to throw Wilf under the bus and say the player needs to step up and accept some responsibility for his fouls. No, he went right back in on his old target, the referees. I should have known. It was like Lucy in the football, pulling it away. Charlie Brown kicked my way right into the sky with those expectations. But very on brand, on point comments from Dino, because he's sick of it. We're all sick of it. And I feel like I don't want to see Wilf get suspended for a game. I feel like it's inevitable at this point. But I'm on the player's side along with the gaffer. Seems like you as well.
Well, it's definitely inevitable. Well, it's five cards and a 1-game suspension. Is that what it is, Danny?
Yeah, he's 4 out of 4 for now. So yeah, can he go 5 for 5 against? Oh, and by the way, the next match is against New York Red Bulls.
Yeah. So he's definitely going to miss. Let's see what the fixtures look like here. All right, so if Zaha gets a yellow against Red Bulls this Saturday, then he'll miss the game 2 weeks later at home against Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. I think that's the key right now. If you're Zaha, you want to figure out a way to. No, if Philadelphia's had a really poor start to the season, lost 3-1.
Yeah, they have 0 points. Philadelphia has 0-4.
I would almost prefer Zaha to just get it out of the way. Get the yellow next week against the Red Bulls, be suspended against Philly, then come back against Nashville and on the road at NYCFC. I think the worst case scenario would be if Zaha misses the road match at NYCFC on Saturday, April 18th. Like that's the one that of all of the next fixtures after the Red Bulls match, the 3 fixtures, Philadelphia at home, Nashville at home, NYCFC on the road, I don't want Zaha suspended for that match against NYCFC. So, worst case scenario, Wilf, if you do make it to the Philadelphia match and you still don't have that 5th yellow, maybe you pull a Derek Jones.
Not that pull this kind of Derek Jones, not that kind of Derek Jones. Exactly. I think that's a very good assessment, John. I like to see him go out there and just punch a Red Bull in the face in the 90th minute. Next match, that'd be great. It'd be great to get suspended for the Philadelphia match to be safe against NYC instead of get suspended in the Philadelphia match and not be safe for NYCFC.
Exactly.
Like we saw last year.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, Bram's bringing that up again. Who would have thought? But it's kind of my contractual obligation at this point. You said something, Johnny, earlier that I want to kind of go back to because we're focusing on the positive here. We're keeping it. I'm getting kind of intense. Let me dial myself back a little bit here. But there was some intense action on the pitch last night. If you went to go see Messi. And you were disappointed, that's on you because you saw a pretty good soccer match. Charlotte FC had some pretty nice chances, and Christian Kalina made an amazing save. I think first, let's look at the save first because it really was kind of the high point of the match from
Is this
from
the
Charlotte
double
FC's.
save?
Yeah, this is the double save. This is a really nice point-blank header. And then he stays in the play. I think that's going in. If he just kind of checks off after making the initial save here, I think that's going to get scored again. He had to stay kind of locked in and plugged in, and it's just really nice play from Kalina.
It is a nice save, and it ultimately is what allows the clean sheet to stay intact, which, by the way,
First
is
one of the year.
something to celebrate. Not only does Miami go home without a win, they go home without a goal. So that's something to be proud of as well. And that's just kind of when you think about the campaign, these individual matches along the way just end up telling one long story. And by the end of the season, a 0-0 draw against Miami will just
Right.
be 1 point on the board and more information for the table. It's when you lose that you have a real problem. Christian Kalina, a tremendous start to the season, Danny. He's in top form and in my opinion, the most informed player on Charlotte FC right now, which is a very good thing.
He saved us let's say he saved us 2 points there yesterday against Miami. He saved us 2 points against St. Louis, right, with a big save to keep that draw. So he's already been good for 4 points just off the top of my head without thinking about. He didn't really have much of a chance to save 3 points against Galaxy. So he's been good for 4 points. So Charlotte FC sitting on 5 points, right, and 4 of them you can directly attribute to massive Christian Kalina efforts. Kalina, great player to have on the team and a great guy to listen talk to after the match.
Yeah, it was really difficult save. I think really good save. It was completely reaction from me that even I didn't expect this like from him, because Reguilon take first time cross, first touch cross, and something similar like Jordi Alba. He has really good cross, and I was moving all like in the time even to the second post, middle goal, second post, and the guy shoot in front of me, and was like fast hands. I save it, what is really important for the team, and was nice save for me.
It's great to hear him speak and just kind of assume that leadership position on a night like tonight, right? I think he's asked to speak to the media, and he goes out and does that after the match because we want to hear him speak, and he's the highest rated player on the pitch for the Crown, and deservedly so.
Yeah, he had a great match. Once again, Rios Novo, actually, I'm going to pop up the ratings here. I only have our ratings. I didn't put the Miami ratings here, but I did glance at them. And Rios Novo was actually rated a 9.3 because his 5 saves were also very impressive. Cali ended up with 3, none more important than the one we just watched and that he just talked about. Again, you say highest rated player on the pitch. That's going to happen in a 0-0 draw. But he's box office. Christian Kalina is box office from the goalkeeper position. And that's something that fits very in line with Charlotte FC's brand in terms of entertainment and a party. John, let's dig a little deeper into this graphic I just put on the screen, which shows this is something new I've added. So I got the player ratings on there. I also added this little chart in the middle here. So this is the average player positions. This sort of shows you the average spot players were taken up on the pitch. You see Abada actually on average the most advanced player last night against Miami. A couple interesting things. You see Morrison taking up more advanced positions than Ream. You see Westwood in a higher average spot on the field than Bronico. That kind of caught my eye a little bit. And the same thing with Edon having to drop so deep. Edon's average position being down in the center circle. That tells me 0-0 draw as well when I look at something like that. Just Charlotte not getting their target man high enough off the pitch when he's getting the ball.
Oh, I think you can look at it individually, which is important to do. Like I'll call out Liel Abada, for example. He's pushing forward. He's trying to get down that right-hand side. But I think more so what that average position chart represents is just the compactness of the way this team was set up. And when you do set up compactly like that, I think Bronny Bro and Westwood specifically doing a really nice job protecting the back line. And you've got Toklamati and you've got Pep Biel really doing a great job along with Wilf of really congesting that area through the midfield. And I don't think there was a lot of opportunity for either team to work in transition. I just think it was that kind of game, and that illustrates it perfectly. And the other thing that illustrates what happened is the fact that Toklamati is 6.6 and Zaha a 6.7 rating. I think both those players had a chance to step up last night and on Saturday night and score a winner. Both couldn't get it done. Liel Abada had a big chance as well. And Dean said it. We listened to him speak earlier, and he said if we were more clinical, I think if they were better in at finishing, then you could argue that Charlotte wins this match. And I think that's, of all the problems this team could have had, Danny, like I'd rather be having issues up front right now, because weren't we like super concerned about the back line? And the defense plus the keeper played pretty damn well.
Yeah, you're right. Backline issues has been a graphic, a lower third banner that I think has like lived on our template, show template here for the last several episodes. I finally deleted it after this match, John, because the 0-0 draw, I think they finally solved some of the issues. The funny thing for me is I watched this match, and to my eye, and to my sober, not wasted after a day of drinking uptown eye, I actually got to watch this match a little more analytically than I see most home matches. I really thought Morrison played amazing. I thought Morrison Ajmong was man of the match, to be perfectly honest. Here I see SofaScore rated him the lowest rated of our 4 defenders, so it shows what I know. But I did think Morrison was very good. We popped the heat maps now for the 4 defenders, and you can see he's really just he's dominating a wider area, just a giant red blob there on his spot. You see Harry Toffolo getting into some really advanced positions, just lumbering up there. Toffolo the Buffalo, just no speed, but all the intent in the world to get forward. Byrne, the highest rated player, I think, probably just because he covered a ton of ground and had the best passing stats, and was able to hold down their wingers. Although that cross for that goal, for that save that we showed with Cali, I think the cross did come in from Byrne's side, right? That clean aside from Region, the world-class player. But all in all, I thought Morrison was the man of the match. I've got some sound on Morrison from Dean and Callie later. But, John, before we get to that, what did you think of the defensive effort individually and collectively?
7 defensive contributions for Harry Toffolo. That's the type of performance that we need to see from Toffolo in a game that's 0-0. He's somebody that we feel very comfortable about in the final third, somebody that knows how to go forward from that left back position. To see Toffolo with 7 defensive contributions, rated very highly in this match, really coming into himself as an MLS player here. It's really, really fun to see how he's basically going box to box from that left back position.
Good call, yeah.
And his
just parallel. He's parallel to the box. He's not in the box, but he's still going box to box.
Yeah, he's providing width and he's providing length on the left-hand side. And I think everything that we've heard about Harry Toffolo and how classy he is and how impressive of a player that he is, all of a sudden I think he's starting to feel himself, feel a little bit comfortable, and over these next couple games, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a goal.
Oh wow!
Mark that down.
All right, hang on. Let me take the graph. Let me get you back on camera here for that one. I think the people want to see the look on your face when you make that prediction, Johnny.
Yeah, I just think it's something to look out for. Three matches at home over the next 4 weeks, I believe it is. He's on a nice run of form, and he's interested in scoring a goal. Let me put it that way. It's like he's a player that enjoys his defense and will do that, Danny. It says don't be surprised to see Toffolo score a goal soon. My official prediction is that by the time this home stand is over, he will have a goal.
Okay, that's fair. I love it.
That's my official prediction.
I do love a good "don't be surprised." Don't be surprised. It's such a great prediction.
Don't be surprised if
it could happen. Yeah.
Manchester United loses this morning against Aston Villa.
Who was it? Wasn't it in the play? Was it the playoffs last year where Toffolo whiffed like a huge chance in game 1? He got all the way forward and he came running onto a ball, and it was just like, I wish anybody else would have been the one running onto that ball, but he did fire away. So I'd like to see him score. I'd love to see it happen. I'd love to see Nathan Burns score.
But yes, me too. And I'm speaking a lot about Toffolo, but you mentioned Morrison Ajmong. Mm-hmm. He had 8 defensive contributions, which, by the way, was the most for Charlotte FC. Mm-hmm. And he's just absolutely phenomenal for a young player coming in, starting against Miami. Now makes back-to-back starts in front of 35,000 people. Makes a bad mistake his first match out there.
Mm-hmm.
It comes back around and has a really impressive match. Morrison Ajamong is, and it's so funny, Danny, because soccer is a brilliant sport, and I think a lot of sports work this way. You get so comfortable with who you have. You gotta you've got somebody like Adilson Malanda who is a very good center back who gets a lot of hype and ships off to Middlesbrough, and it's like, how are you going to replace this guy? It's like, well, Morrison Ajamong's doing a pretty good job of it, and I think the reason why it's different than Patrick Ajamong, replacing a striker is replacing goals. Replacing a center back is much easier, especially when you're in MLS. With all due respect to Adilson Malanda at Middlesbrough, it's not that impressive. It's just not. It's a championship club, and he made the transfer, and now he's playing well there. I think a lot of guys in MLS could do that. I don't think it's, I do think that's real. If Adilson Malanda went straight to the Prem or went to the Bundesliga, I don't know, went to a big club, and then you could convince me he's some great player that can't be replaced. But he went to Middlesbrough in the English Championship, and now Morrison Ajamong's starting and looks just as physical, looks like he's in better shape, and he's the next really target on this roster if you're looking at this club from a scouting perspective. If you are overseas trying to pick some cherries off the MLS tree, I'm looking at Morrison Ajamong right now. I'm saying, what kind of skill does this guy have? Because physically, the traits are there to be better than Adilson Malanda. And I'm really excited about what I've seen on the pitch from this young man. How old is he, Danny? Is he like 20?
Let me check on that. Give me 2 seconds. He is a young man, and he's very impressive.
He's 21.
21, born 21st of December 2004. So he just turned 21. He'll be 22. He'll be 21 all year, you could say. Very impressive. Love watching him play. Love watching the slide tackles. 2 very impressive sliding tackle efforts. I think I used one of those pictures for the cover photo for this episode, Johnny, because I was so impressed that Morrison was able to do just enough. As a young man, he did just enough, despite not always knowing exactly the right thing to do. The effort, the athleticism, and the want, and just the physical traits are there. Here's what his goalkeeper and his manager had to say about Morrison Ajamong's assimilation into this starting 11 so far.
I thought he was okay. They left him on the ball a little bit for the majority of the game, and we had to change how we built a little bit after 20-25 minutes. Because we ended up looking to go beyond the second half. We ended up playing Pep as an 8 a little bit, come a bit deeper, and then we could bounce it off him to either our fullback or centre midfielder.
Even today, all the tactic from Miami was like leave him on the ball, or myself and him on the ball, and then take something from that. We adapt after maybe 20-25 minutes and find some solutions how we want to play after on their tactic. But I think he needs a few more games and then he will be completely fine.
How about his individual defense? He made some sliding tackles.
Yeah, he's like a fast guy who can cover team rim back, and overall you need one player who is really fast that on the long balls can be like everywhere. He's young, he can run.
It's really interesting to see that Miami tried to go after Morrison. You see they talked about the tactics Miami was doing.
And
they
Kalina.
tried to isolate Morrison and Kalina and make them play
That's
the ball
the
at
key
their feet.
here.
Yeah,
That's the key here, Danny. It's not just about Morrison Ajamong. It's Miami's tactics were to leave Kalina and Ajamong on the ball.
Yeah, and Dean adjusted, and he had to adjust. And I think ultimately it's just a really great defensive effort to be proud of. It would have been tougher with DePaul and Messi out there, but Reguilon offered plenty of attacks. Suarez was dangerous. A couple they had a couple youngsters out there, but I was impressed by the Pinter, Silvetti, even Morales. They were creating a lot of chances. So Miami shutting them out is no slouch. On the other hand, John, if you did want to make the case for 2 points dropped, it really would have to come down to some really great chances that Charlotte FC had that they failed to capitalize on. 2 in the first half that came through Abada, one where he set Westwood up. We're going to look at them both here, and we can talk about them. This was a great chance. 10 minutes in, Westwood found himself somehow, in the nosebleed section, as they like to say. Should have, could have, would have finished this. It's a really nice play from Liel, and then later Liel misses an even better chance all alone.
Really nice play from Abada there, and continually proving to me, I don't know if he's proven it to anybody else, that he's got an opportunity to continue to get a run of starts in this game. And yes, you could rail on Liel Abada for that miss, but how many times have we seen that from Kerwin Vargas, who's the guy that would come in for him?
We saw him miss one last night.
Yeah. So I ultimately would have liked to see Liel Abada take this opportunity, at least get the ball in frame. A little touch there wide didn't give him the best chance to finish it, and I think he knows he's got that opportunity. But it's how can you not be encouraged by the way Liel Abada is playing to start this season?
Yeah, the speed on the wing is finally showing, and he's doing the thing where these highlights aren't going to show up, but he is doing the thing where he got back and played, got stuck in defensively. He kind of lost his spot in the starting lineup because Kerwin Vargas played better defense from an offensive position, and so you can tell Abada's been putting in the work to sort of make up that deficit where he is playing a lot of defense, and then he can create chances like this just with something that only he can do, which is he has way more pace than Vargas. He has way more pace than most MLS players, and he's just a guy like this. Chance right here is not many people are going to be able to do this one-on-one. It's a nice header on from Toklamati in the middle of sort of a chaotic midfield thing. It springs a chance, and it's pure speed that creates this opportunity. I wish he got it on frame. I completely agree with you. But it's, here's again, speed down the wing, beating his man. Look at the guy trying to chase him down. There's no hope there. And Westwood, really nice technique, just, a pretty nice save from Rios Novo there. So what can you do? But these are chances. I would have liked to see one of these paid off. And then, Johnny, in the second half is where it got really bad because this Wilfred Zaha chance, I just feel like an English Premier League pro needs to not put that right at the keeper. You need to find a way to find an open spot of that goal to shoot for. This is really nice. A set piece that, again, fighting for the second ball. Bronico sees the chance for a headed assist, and Wilf just can't pull it off.
So my analysis of this is actually it's tremendous goalkeeping. Like
Okay, that's fair.
I don't have any issue with Wilf on this at all. I think it's tremendous goalkeeping. I think when you think about it, this is why Nova was ranked high. What options does the goalkeeper have here? You can go down, you can tackle the player, and instead he very much, the goalkeeper plays this perfectly, closes down the space, times it up beautifully, and makes the save.
Make yourself big, they always say, right?
Yes.
Make yourself big as a goalkeeper.
Right. I don't think that Zaha has the ability to take this ball down. I think that things are moving quickly. I don't think he has a chance to settle it there and then score. I just think it's a 1-2 punch, and the goalkeeper makes the right move. He comes off his line and makes a great save, and that's why this game is 0-0. Moments like this, it's that simple. The Crown could have won. There's no doubt about it, and you can be disappointed with that. But ultimately, when you're learning to love the draw, when you're embracing the draw, you see those moments and you say, okay, well, it's not like there was no opportunity for this team to score on Saturday night. Danny, there was plenty of opportunity for Charlotte to get one between the pipes, and I think against Red Bulls, it'll happen. I think that this team will come back out next Saturday night and definitely score. I'd be shocked if they don't cash in next Saturday.
I like it. Here's Dean's thoughts on Abada.
Yeah, I mean, you see, he had the big chance in the first half when he ran through and hit the side netting. I think it was. It's a big chance for him. He's I can't knock his work ethic. He's wanting to be a success here. He's just a little bit inconsistent during games at times, but he's not the only one.
He's not the only one. We got to find that consistency, and I think you're right, Johnny. Charlotte will start to score more goals, and results can be good. It's a tough run of games coming up. We can talk about that in a second. I did want to say that as much fun as I had watching that game, I can be entertained by a 0-0 draw. It is funny to me, just for a little bit of inside baseball, peek behind the curtain, anyone could have. You can go on the YouTube channel and watch this. It's not like secret knowledge, but for all the hype of like a Miami, Charlotte, Messi's in town. This is a massive matchup. This is huge. Taylor Twellman on the call. Da da da. The last 3 questions at Dean Smith's post-game press conference were all about Aaron John, like the Crown legacy midfielder who's come up. So just like there was no, the talking points from this game were like so few and far between that people were like, so how about the new young midfielder you brought up to be a depth piece on your bench, Dean? Aaron John, how about that? And so like there's like they're like a long extended conversation on Aaron John, who I love the fact he's on the team. I'm glad he's going to have a career, but it's funny that was like a 5-10 minute talking discussion coming out of a match like this, where so much that I saw happen, but I guess people weren't really too entertained enough to ask Dean and stuff and crew about it in the comments. Johnny, I said when we were talking.
Hey, let me ask you a couple. Let me ask you some questions real quick.
Okay, hit me.
What's Luca De La Torre? Why wasn't he available last night?
Concussion. He got concussed. So in the Austin match, he subbed in. And the guys who sub in and don't play a full 90, they have to do a post-game training session.
Yep.
To make sure that their legs get them the same amount of workout as the guys who play 90. So they do a post-game training session, I think that night. And in that post-game training session after the Austin win, someone whacked Luca on the head and he got a concussion. So he was out for this game. Yeah.
I missed that story this week.
Sucks,
Totally missed that story. I had that's not how I expected my prediction to unfold. But if you remember, what I said last week was that Brant Bronico will start again against Miami, and then Luca De La Torre will come in against Red Bull. So I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully Luca De La Torre can get out of concussion protocol this week and get back into the squad, because another point I wanted to make was just I think when you're searching for a goal late at home, and Archie Goodwin comes off the bench, Tiger Smalls comes off the bench. I just think those are 2 players that feel very inexperienced and very young, and they need to do something. Like I don't.
Right.
I'm not bagging on them. It's just when Archie Goodwin and Tiger Smalls come off the bench to try to get you a winner, there is nothing that gives you any confidence that that's actually going to happen.
Correct.
So at some point, it's got to happen.
They both came on and played 10 minutes each, and I think maybe had about 4 touches in between them. I have to check, but
it's not about anything other than, and football can be about this all the time, Danny. It's just about like results, right?
12
it's
touches in between them. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for Archie or Tiger to really make an impact, because they're not getting a consistent run of games. They're not getting any starts. Mm-hmm. I'd like to see one of these guys come in for like 30 minutes to see what they could do for 30 minutes.
I'll be honest, John. I'd like to see Naeem Foster and Berkemans at this point. I don't understand. I have not seen enough from Tiger Smalls. Whatever Tiger Smalls is showing, he's showing it in training. He has not shown it in matches when he's gotten it on the pitch. Archie Goodwin, I would have to say the same. I haven't really seen much from Archie. He did have an assist last year to Toklamati in a big spot. But these are guys that have had their chances and have not delivered to me. And I don't understand why Berkemans can't get on the pitch, a guy who's like we're told is the future of the U.S. men's national team from a winger perspective. And there's teenagers making a difference every day in this league. This guy, Miami, started 2 teenagers against us. I think Pinter is a teenager, and let me double check Silvestri, but Daniel Pinter, 18 years old, and the teens can come in and make an impact in this league. And you know who's not making an impact is Tiger Smalls and Archie Goodwin. Matteo Silvetti just turned 20 for Miami, so it's like let's get Berkemans in there. If we're going to play the kids, let's play the kids, and let's give a little more equal. Let's spread these chances around, because the guys that are getting them are not delivering, I don't think.
Right. And again, it's not a knock on these guys. I just think that the opportunity has come so few and far between, and there hasn't been a run of games. So when there's 10 minutes left and it's Archie Goodwin and Tiger Smalls coming off the bench to try to get you a winner, you're like, well, it looks like it's going to be a draw.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Did you have a lick of confidence or excitement seeing those two guys standing next to each other on the touchline?
No.
Get
And
ready
and
to
that's
come
why
in
I'm
with
like,
82nd
no.
minute? I mean, it's not a
That's-
knock on them. It's just a true fan response.
He's just trying to navigate this conversation quickly without throwing these two young players under the bus.
That's fair. I get you. I'm not trying to throw them on the bus either, but I'm just trying.
I know and you're not, and you're not, and you're not. Because if there is a young player you're going to throw under the bus, it's 21-year-old Edon Toglamati. That's the guy that you should throw under the bus because he's the guy that is getting the minutes.
Yeah.
And he's the guy that has one goal so far in 4 matches, which isn't like the worst return in the world. If you score once every 4 games, it's actually pretty good. But it's not like there's a ton of opportunities and a ton of chances for Toklamati to start the season. It doesn't seem to me like he is going to take the league by storm this year. I think that the league has figured him out. They understand who he is, and he's somebody that needs to step it up.
Well, I mean, he had this great moment here. This is a really nice, creative idea for that header backwards to create the chance for Abada. I don't know that anyone else in the ranks to get the striker minutes for the squad right now is doing that. I think Edon's the only one of the 3 who can really do that move right there. Overall, I do agree with you. The production needs to come up. 1 goal in 4 matches is not going to cut it. He hasn't had a ton of chances or touches. He needs more service. Just like, isn't that always the way? Whenever a striker is not producing goals, needs more service. More service. It's kind of a mantra, but I think it is true in this case.
Not to be an asshole, but I mean, like, I'm trying, having a big picture discussion about this guy, and you're showing me like a flick on in the center circle and trying to tell me why.
Hey, I had to show. It's the only thing I had to show is So it was case in point. It was a case in point. What can I say?
It's a beautiful. I gotta tell you, I've never seen a flick on like that before in my life, Danny. Just unbelievably brilliant play by the center forward there.
I mean, he created a chance.
He did create a chance, and it's a nice flick on too. It is. I agree. It's a nice touch, and that it kind of illustrates that he does have class. He does have class. Toklamati has class, and he showed it with that flick on. Mm-hmm. He just got to find the back of the net a little bit more. This is a big season for him. Considering what we just spoke about. Nobody really waiting in the wings except for a couple young guys, and who knows what will happen if one of those young guys gets their chance.
Football Edits may have the comment of the show today. I know you're going to like this one, Johnny. We miss Big Pat at this point. Don't. Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
For sure.
We miss you, Big Pat, for sure.
Yeah. Derby playing this morning? I think they are.
Yeah, let's get into a little bit of some other soccer because there's a lot going on in the Premiership. Arsenal, saved 3 points last night. Clutch performance. Let's talk about teenagers. Max Dowman for Arsenal comes in, sets up a goal, and then scores one himself to put it away. That's a guy who has not seen his 20th birthday making a big impact on a big stage. Liverpool-Tottenham today is going to be a good one for sure, I think. Where is that Derby kind of game? I'm looking for it. I can't seem to find it.
Maybe there's not. Maybe there's no championship today.
Maybe they all played yesterday. Yeah, Boro. Did Boro end up in a draw? I saw they were in a drawing late. So, yeah.
Let's see.
Big Pat really has embraced Derby. It's great to see on social media how much Patrick loves being a Derby County Ram. I think that's cool. Like the smile has not dimmed whatsoever. That's one of the things we loved about him. So
no
much
games.
As a player.
No games today, Danny.
Okay.
And Derby is going to finish off the weekend. Play tomorrow afternoon. And
oh yeah, gotcha. Their match against Pompey was postponed. Something happened at Fratton Park. I don't know. We'll find out.
So we mentioned Melanda earlier in the show. Middlesbrough currently second in the championship on 70 points. Huge opportunity for Adilson Melanda to go up into the Premier League, but Ipswich Town and Millwall both on 68 points. And Ipswich has a game in hand as well. So that fight for the guaranteed second spot in the English Championship is going to be really fun to keep an eye on through the remainder of the season. And then obviously the 3rd through 6th there will play in the playoffs, ultimately to play in that richest game in football to see with a 3rd team that's promoted. Dean Smith, somebody that has experience in that game.
Yeah,
Danny?
Of course. Yeah. has experience winning that game against Magic Frankie Lampard. I got the table of the championship up on the screen here now, Johnny, and yeah, it's great to think that two of our guys could potentially be in the Premiership next year. I feel like if Derby doesn't climb into those playoff positions and fight their way in the Prem, I feel like Patrick, if he keeps scoring, he's going to be on the radar of some teams that go up. Like I could see Borough like poaching Ajamong from Derby, if they go up and Derby doesn't, and reuniting Ajamong and Malanda, something like that. Who knows? But very fun to watch, and it's nice. It's nice to be able to watch the championship, which I know has long been a favorite league of yours, John, globally. But to watch it, with a little bit of informed of a Charlotte FC viewing angle is kind of an interesting new way to experience this league.
Absolutely. And I think championship football is kind of like very similar to MLS. So if you like one, I think you should kind of like the other. The one thing that's nice about the championship is just, obviously with the smaller country in England, there's a lot more local derbies and the ability to go see your team play on the road. It feels very local. The English Championship is very, very local in a way that I appreciate, where the Premier League, a league that we'll talk about as well, is also pretty local. But as we're counting down to kickoff here, we're looking at a club like Manchester United, and just the richest and the most popular club in the world, right? So you make a big jump when you get into the Premier League. You go from a league like MLS or a league like the English Championship, and you get into Premier League and you see these matches today and you're like, holy smokes. Anfield, the Spurs and Liverpool. So it's just it's a great
theater
weekend.
of dreams,
Exactly.
Old Trafford.
Old Trafford, that's right.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, they can burn Old Trafford down, but I do,
Right.
as a fan, as an Alex Ferguson hater.
So
but
if you're getting ready to watch the Prem, here's what's on the line. In that Manchester United Aston Villa match, Champions League football, you're talking about 3 versus 4. You can see Chelsea there. Did not get a result this weekend. Is that right?
No, they lost it. Yeah, they lost at home to Newcastle. They lost to Newcastle, I think, at home. Yeah,
I think it was
pretty rough.
potentially a 1-0 to Newcastle. So
Yeah, rough one.
That three to sixth place is very interesting in the Prem. How many Champions League spots the English Premier League will get this season, we'll find out. But ideally, you want to be in the top 4. So those matches are important this morning. That match specifically.
It's about to be. Is it fair to say, Johnny, that it's about to be nuts in about an hour and a half or so at Dom's Dive Bar over on South Boulevard, home of the Liverpool local Liverpool supporters club? They're playing for a chance to get themselves into the top 5. They're playing against. They're hosting Tottenham at Anfield. Winnable match, and they can finally jump themselves after a really rough start to the season for the Reds. They're looking to finally be back into European places after Chelsea really choked the bed last night.
Well, even though the top of the table is always interesting. By the way, you're Arsenal. I want to make this point. If you scroll, you just revel in your side kind of being
I have to.
the number 1 on this table right now. 9 points clear.
Most goals scored, fewest allowed. It's a beautiful thing.
Of Man City. I wanted to tell you specifically this. When Arsenal lift the trophy in May, I will remember Saturday, March 14th as the day they won the title.
Go on.
When Max Dowman scored the goal, the youngest goal scorer in Premier League history, late in the match to go up 2-0, when City just dropped 2 points against lowly West Ham. That's the moment for me. I think that was that's the moment for me that Arsenal won the title. So congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, things a couple weeks ago when Arsenal drew Wolves 2-2, one of the worst teams in the league. I think it was dark days, but everyone was sort of assuming City was never going to drop points again. Since then, City's managed to drop a few points. Arsenal's taking care of business and got this late winner against Everton. The late 2 goals. Gyökeres scored the first goal in the 89th minute. Was a Gyökeres from Hincapié, I should say, but Max Dowman set it up with an amazing cross, and then Dowman opens his account as an Arsenal player. This kid is amazing, Max Dowman. I think he's the type of guy that is going to be on. He's going to be a household name for football fans in years to come. especially if Arsenal's able to do it. But 16 years old, born New Year's Eve 2009.
Unreal.
That is absolutely unreal.
Unreal. Youngest goal scorer in
Unreal.
Premier League history. What a crown to wear.
Yeah.
On this Sunday, can legitimately wake up this morning and say, I am the youngest player ever to score a goal in the English Premier League. Absolutely phenomenal for Max Talman. I don't want to linger on Arsenal at the top of the table too long, Danny, because we got to look at the bottom of the table because that's where the action is too.
Yeah, of course.
Because as much as the top of the table is fun, this is the reason why European football and just football in general is always my favorite, and why MLS should have relegation and promotion, considering there's already 60 teams in MLS. Might as well just break them up. The bottom of the table is absolutely crunched from Leeds in 15th, who's getting ready to kick off as well. West Ham picks up a point. Forest is playing. It's very simple this morning, Danny, and this afternoon on Sunday. Forest wins, Spurs lose, and Tottenham is sitting there tied in 18th in the relegation spots. The only thing keeping them out of the relegation spots at that time would be goal differential. So things are very real at the bottom of this table, and even Burnley, a team that I have zero expectations for Burnley to stay up, but it's a solid point yesterday. Still, how many games to play there? 8 games to play. You never know what could happen in 8 games. You pick up 12 points. If West Ham and Spurs don't, you never know what could happen. Either way, the bottom of the table is just thrilling right now.
Yeah, it's incredible to see two London clubs with just such great pedigrees, Tottenham and West Ham.
And it's a derby.
It feels like only one of them can win. It's interesting. I still. We'll see what Forest does today, obviously, because today's results could put Tottenham West Ham tied at that 18th spot. I'm not an Arsenal fan that hates Tottenham for whatever reason. I hate Manchester United. I hate Manchester United, and I don't like Chelsea, and I like to give Chelsea shit for being run by a war criminal, Roman Abramovich, and cheating, and I like to sort of poke fun at Spurs, but I've never been a Spurs hater like some Arsenal fans are. And I have so many great friends like you, John, and several other folks that are big Spurs fans, so I can't be mad at them. I don't want to see Spurs go down. I do think it would be funny. I want to see West Ham go down. West Ham I don't really like West Ham. They just kind of bug me. I wish Manchester United could somehow get a 50-point penalty and drop to the bottom of the table, like I said. But I think ultimately, when you look at this, nothing lasts forever, and we both know hearts can change, as Axl Rose once sang. And 5 straight losses in a row for Tottenham. Something's got to give there, even though their fixture list looks intimidating, and going into Anfield today looks to maybe make it 6 straight losses. I think they get a point. I think Spurs get a point today and start their rescue campaign. I think in the unlikeliest of circumstances, against all odds, I think somehow Spurs is going to pull this off. It's a little bit of magic thinking on my part, but I hope West Ham goes down and Forest and Spurs stay up. I think Burnley's cooked. I think it's not enough with the 8 matches left and 8 points, but we'll see. And Wolves, thanks for Wolves somehow had some of the best results on the season. You never had a chance to not be relegated. What a strange campaign from them as well. So
I appreciate the love, Danny. I do. We'll see what happens if Spurs can get a point. I think it'd be a bit of a miracle considering the state of the squad.
Maybe
at Anfield. I still think Anfield is one of the most difficult places to play in the world. And you know that they're going to be in full song today and preparing to host Galatasaray midweek. I think it's an important match for Liverpool today to kind of to find a little bit of form, to get some confidence, to get home against Galatasaray in the second leg of that Champions League round of 16 and bring that confidence into that match and then move on to the quarterfinals. That would be my expectation. It should be a good match. It'll be an interesting match for sure. A lot of good players on the pitch, and today's Premier League officially underway now. As we've got kickoff across the country.
I popped up real quick. This is sort of a potential lineups for Spurs Liverpool, which is the noon 30 kickoff here in the Eastern time zone. And I brought this up just because, John, you sent a text the other day. It was like, look at all the guys Spurs are missing for this match. And do you agree that this is a lineup that is Richarlison finally going to get his start, despite the fact that they never seem to want to start him over there? And is this a lineup you think is actually going to be seen, or is this even optimistic with everyone that's out?
No, this looks
questionable?
spot on. I think Conor Gallagher had an illness this week, so TBD there for Conor Gallagher. But yes, it's Richarlison, Solanke, and Matthias Tell. Those are the three players, and then Kalu Mwani. Mwani is somebody that could potentially get a start too. He's healthy, but there's I mean, it's a total injury crisis at Spurs.
Yeah.
You should scroll down to see who's unavailable in that match, not who is available.
Let's do it.
in the match.
Ask and you shall receive. Looks like
Ben Davis out, Kulusevski out, Bergvall out, Madison out, Odegaard out, Doggy, he's not playing. Van de Ven suspended. Spencer's going to play. Kudos out, Bentancur out, Romero out, Polina out, Basum out.
Gallagher doubtful.
Yes.
They got Gallagher projected to start and also listed as doubtful. So that's what SofaScore is good.
Well,
for.
you know when you've got the crud, Danny, it's like one day you're okay, the next day you're not.
Yeah,
It's everybody's been dealing with the late winter, early spring illnesses. It's that time of the year now. But it just I'll finish with this as we wrap up here on today's show. I've enjoyed it, and just an absolute banner Saturday for Charlotte in general. I think the city was just bursting at the seams yesterday, wanting to rip with just the excitement for the match, the ACC basketball championship in town, the beautiful weather. I imagine golfers were all over every single course in town yesterday. I'm sure the lakes were buzzing. Spring is officially here, and it's a wonderful time to be in the Carolinas, and I'm excited for this week, and Saturday at the Keep against Red Bull should be fun as well.
Yeah, everything you said is true. Charlotte is just such a paradise to live in, Johnny. I'm so blessed that even though I didn't go uptown last night, I could feel the vibes even all the way to my couch where I was sitting, because it's that kind of a place, that kind of a vibe, that kind of a special feeling, community that we're lucky enough to have here. Let's go beat Red Bulls. Big week ahead. The campaign is just getting started. It's weird to have such what felt like a massive match just because of the Messi factor of it and the fact that Miami's the defending Cup champions. Felt weird to play such a big matchup early in the season. But the reality is that the fixtures only get tougher from here. Red Bulls are flying. New York City's flying. Nashville's flying. These are all teams that we have to face in the next few weeks. So I'm really looking forward to it, Johnny. Enjoy some Premier League today. We'll figure out what Tottenham can do. Thanks to everybody who watched and commented and kept this conversation going. We love it. The soccer citizens are what it's all about. And thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day, a blessed week, and let's get back after it uptown in 6 short days.
Cheers, Danny. It's great to see you. Great to talk to you this morning. Have a phenomenal day. And as always,
For the crown, baby.